I'm Dr. Gene Antenucci. I started my career in dentistry in the Air Force, where I helped our military personnel get healthy and stay healthy. From there, I built a successful practice in Huntington, New York, and later as a teacher, lecturer, and author, I shared my knowledge and experience with students and fellow healthcare professionals. And now my journey's taken me here to explore the world of health, wellness, diet, fitness, and nutrition, as together we discover and find the good life. Welcome to Finding the Good Life. I'm Dr. Gene. Today we'll be talking about something all of us have, nobody likes, and few of us know how to really deal with. Stress. We're drowning in it. We take it for granted, but few of us know or think about what it does to us. It's normal and inevitable. When humans were evolving, they had to deal with profound stress, like running away from an angry animal that viewed them as dinner, or facing harsh environments. And the human body evolved to release hormones like adrenaline and cortisol to deal with that stress. It's powerful stuff. Luckily, humans weren't being chased by animals 24/7. These were short-lived events. And other hormones, good hormones like endorphins, took over to heal all the damage from stress. But today, so many of us are living 24/7 with stress. And the stress hormones wreak havoc. They affect our health. They change our metabolism. They cause cells to break down and make systems just fall apart. The happy hormones never have a chance to heal and repair. Stress is bad. I know from my own life, and there were many times I wish I had helped to deal with it. That's what today's show is all about. We're going to talk about what stress is, what it does, and not only how to deal with it, but to learn how to make those beneficial hormones flow freely and heal us. To help us, we have with us on the show today Mary Beth Battaglia. She's a speaker, author of Transformation Through Hypnosis, Relax, Clear Your Mind, and Step Into Your Power. She's a certified clinical hypnosis practitioner and sound healing expert. Mary Beth has discovered the powerful and life-changing combination of hypnosis and sound vibration, coping skills that can be used daily to maintain balance and calm. Mary Beth, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me, Dr. Gene.
Tell me your personal story.
Well, I found hypnosis through having an online business. So I would sell natural sleep products for relaxation, and sleep CDs were one of the things I sold. And hypnosis CDs were some of them, and it intrigued me. But I couldn't do anything about it at that time. But I knew the school I wanted to go to, it just intrigued me, the curiosity of hypnosis. So 4 years later, everything in my life kind of collapsed. So I said, I've got to do something about it. So I went to the school for hypnosis and went for 10 weeks and came back and opened my practice.
Oh, wow.
And haven't looked back.
Wow.
Because hypnosis helped me heal, and hypnosis created a change within me. So my life is so much better now.
Well, before we get into hypnosis, let's start at the beginning. Tell me, what is stress?
Stress, 85% of people in America experience stress every day. Stress is overwhelming thoughts. I call it the chatter in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Stress is what I call an imbalance in the mind, body, and spirit. And stress robs us of joy and happiness in our life.
So what are some of the sources of stress that trigger things in people?
Right. And a lot of it's how we experience life, how we take things in. So if we're feeling judged, we might feel stressed from that. Stress could be from family, from jobs. A lot of times we're not living in the moment, and our thoughts become powerful, and a lot of it's getting control of the thoughts. So the negative thoughts can create distress and create that power in the mind. So I teach people techniques. So I teach them self-hypnosis, and through self-hypnosis I teach you how to clear the mind. So everyone should learn how to clear the mind. We don't grow up knowing how to do this.
So you're saying when you feel stress,
Right.
do you go through a process of self-hypnosis?
I do.
Tell me how does that work?
So basically it's taking a moment, a pause. I call it a pause in life. It could be just the breath. You could just do the breath, because you can take components of it. So let's say we take the breath.
So when you start to feel stress, you're going to
I take a deep breath.
Slow, deep breath.
Right, and then let it out through the mouth. And you can do this anywhere. You could be in a boardroom.
Okay.
You could be a presenter of
So
it.
what is hypnosis?
Hypnosis is really a relaxed state. So I like to I like to correlate it to a daydream state, because we all go into a daydream state. So you know you're focused on a thought, but you hear everything in the background? That's really what hypnosis is.
Because we all have misconceptions in our mind about what hypnosis is. You see a clock going back and forth, and people can resist it. So that's not really the way that it is?
Well, people need to be open for it. Okay. That's what we really need, is an open and desire to do it. But everyone can go into it.
So you'll have a client come in to speak with you,
right.
and they say, I'm going through this terrible divorce, or something's really tearing my life apart.
Right.
So how will you deal with them?
So I always start with people, we create a script together. So I really try to get a picture of their lives, not just about, let's say, the divorce. I really try to understand their whole life, because when I create a script, which is positive affirmations, I want to help them with everything. So if there's a little self-esteem in there too, stress is always a big component, but it's other things too that are going on and ruling their life, their pattern and their programming.
This is great information. We have to take a quick break, but I hope you'll stay for more.
Of course I would.
Okay, we'll be back in a moment.
Over 70 years of experience in heart and aviation, the members of the Association of Flight Attendants know the realities of the aircraft cabin better than anyone. We don't just serve drinks, we save lives. We don't just negotiate contracts, we move major policy issues like the smoking ban, no knives on planes, clean water, and safe food on board. The air we breathe matters, and we stop the spraying of poisonous pesticides. The Association of Flight Attendants, stronger together, better together.
So you'll have a client come in, and I know it's not a cookbook, but how long does it normally take for someone to respond and to really be able to relieve their stress?
So it typically takes 3 to 6 sessions to work on a goal, but just the stress alone, I can do a 5-minute consultation with someone and induce them into hypnosis, and they will reduce their stress by 2 or 3 levels. So you can see how powerful it is.
So where can we learn more? I mean, I know we've got the book, Transformation Through Hypnosis, but...
You can go on pathofpeace.com, and the book comes with a free download, and you can actually get the download there, and you can purchase the book on Amazon.
So the book comes with the download?
Comes with the free download,
okay,
so you
great.
can actually have me guide you into hypnosis.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And you can get it on Amazon.com as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This is very informative, and I'm going to read the book and get rid of my stress.
Great. Good to hear that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Our next guest is Helena Plato-Zyberg. She's the co-founder and CEO of Supportive, the support network. She was inspired to co-create an online peer support community as a way to make mental wellness judgment-free and affordable for just about everyone. Within a safe, moderated forum, anyone can share anonymously about whatever life challenges they're experiencing, and they receive immediate validation, compassion, and helpful tips and resources to relieve their stress. It's so great to have you here with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Tell me all about yourself.
Sure. Well, I got into digital healthcare about 4 years ago. I started out in the physical healthcare space and really became interested more in mental wellness, seeing how much it interplays with our physical health. And I just started to think, well, there's a lot of avenues out there that are very clinical for applications for mental health conditions, but what about the type of wellness that we all need every day in our lives? And started thinking about peer support.
Give an example of the type of wellness we need every day.
Sure. Well, I think we're living in an always-on society that expects us to project positivity, especially online, where we spend a lot of our times. I used to have an old boss, for example, that was always saying, don't come to me with problems, just come to me with solutions. And that is toxic positivity. Mm-hmm. The reality is that we're all facing a huge amount of demands in our lives, from work, from our family obligations, from relationship communication struggles, all of these interpersonal things that weigh us down. And it can be even loneliness or social isolation because we're not as connected to the community as we used to be. We're viewing all of our friends and family members' social interactions online, but we're not as wholeheartedly a part of it anymore.
Not really feeling it.
Exactly.
You're observing it and you think you're a part of it, but it doesn't really happen. So the solution you came up with is what?
Yeah, Yeah, so we've created a peer support network that is entirely online. It's something that you can go to and feel safe and validated about whatever struggles you're going on in your life.
How does that work?
We ask one question. It's, what's your struggle? It's sort of a universal catch-all. And you can come type anything from a few words to a paragraph.
Okay.
You can say things like, you know, I just don't feel connected to my partner right now. Or I'm afraid my boss is going to fire me. I'm worried about academic struggles. Whatever it is, and we will actually match you with a few minutes from those words to people that are going through something similar.
Wait, so
to
I
you.
would find your site and
Yeah.
I would type in
Yeah.
that whatever the issue is that I have, and then you are going to take that and you're going to funnel me or
That's exactly
guide
it.
me?
So we have a basis
Wow.
of artificial intelligence that kind
Okay.
of processes the free text and finds you users who are online on our platform at the same time, matches you together so that you have this instant, really true connection about something that's powerful and meaningful in your life.
Okay.
And you can start communicating with that person in a safe environment because we have a trained facilitator to help you through the conversation.
So are these sessions or how are they set up?
Yeah, it's not even so much as a session. You can visit anytime. So it's a dynamic matching process. You don't have to think, oh, I'm going to come talk about stress relief Tuesday at 7 p.m., which is really how it works
You
in
go
real
when
life.
when you
go when you
feel
want.
it.
In fact, most of our users are late at night, early in the morning, weekends, times that people wouldn't normally think about making appointments. But you know, this is the time when that stress in your life really hits you and you start to feel overwhelmed. And now there's a place you can go to really let it out.
Do you get involved with, like, do you know the backgrounds of the people that you're dealing with, or?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people share very personal details about their lives, but what we don't know are things like names, ages,
so it's all
locations,
anonymous.
so it's all anonymous.
I guess that's important. That
yeah, and
makes
that's-
people feel safe.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. So you don't have to feel like someone is going to discover on your phone what you've been talking about.
Right.
There's no history. It's cleared after you've chatted, so there's no chance of your boss finding out, things like that. And because of that, we get a lot of interesting users. So we've got celebrity users who
Do you?
really feel comfortable opening up about the real harsh realities of their life not being the way they thought it was going to be. We have active military users
Wow.
who feel like there's too much stigma in military service to be able to talk about vulnerability, and they feel comfortable coming and sharing. So it's really a very powerful forum.
So the forum is supportive?
Yes, it's
And how many
supportive.
users do you have?
We have only been around for just under 2 years, and we're already up to 250,000.
It's a lot of people.
We're growing weekly.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
there's a huge need for this. So our users are from 13 to literally 80. So we get folks who are getting
have
bullied in
80-year-olds
high
coming
school.
on?
We have
Wow.
80-year-olds talking about social isolation. They're
Wow.
disconnected from their grandkids and their family. Maybe some of their friends have passed away, and they really don't feel that connection anymore. So we're handling that entire spectrum.
It's really amazing how you're fulfilling a need right now in a way that people really understand, and people communicate this way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just real people, real problems, like the stress in our lives, and it's there's nothing sort of, fake about it.
So if someone wants to learn more about it, where do they go?
Yeah, it's supportive with noe.com, so supportiv.com, and it's actually free for 24 hours for anyone who wants to give it a try.
That's great. What a great service. What a great idea. I give you all the credit in the world, because
Thank you so much.
really helping people.
It makes us feel really good.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Coming up, we'll talk about how we create stress pathways and what to do about them. We'll be right back.
Season after season, year after year, customers have found that when it comes to replacing their windows, there is only one company to call, Renewal by Andersen. Call 1-800-468-9503 now. So what makes Renewal by Andersen so good? Fibrex material, an innovative composite material exclusive to Andersen that provides strength and durability, far surpassing vinyl. In fact, it won't warp or bow over time like vinyl does. Get the window replacement solution proven to stand the test of time, plus the peace of mind that comes from a superior service experience. That's Renewal by Andersen. Call 1-800-468-9503 today and get 20% off your entire order with this exclusive TV offer. Again, that's 800-468-9503 for 20% off. Plus, get no money down, no interest, and no monthly payments for 12 months. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window. Call 1-800-468-9503 now.
Have you or a loved one been diagnosed with ovarian cancer after regular use of Johnson & Johnson baby powder? You may be entitled to compensation. A December 2018 Reuters news report states that from 1971 to the early 2000s, Johnson & Johnson was aware their raw talc and finished powders sometimes tested positive for small amounts of asbestos, but didn't disclose it to regulators or the public. Substantial verdicts have already been awarded because of Johnson & Johnson's failure to warn the public of this risk, including a $4.69 billion verdict in July of 2018 and 3 other verdicts totaling over $614 million. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer after regular use of Johnson & Johnson baby powder for feminine hygiene purposes, you may be entitled to compensation. How do you fight for the compensation you deserve? You choose the right legal team that has the experience, support staff, and resources to get the most compensation for your injuries. Call now.
I have found that so much of my own personal response to stress is almost as if it was pre-wired inside of me. A stressful event happens, and before I know it, I'm going down an emotional path. I don't really want to be on that path. Our next guest is going to speak to just that. Dr. Laurel Mellin has spent much of her academic life researching the pathways of stress in our bodies and has some concrete suggestions to help us all deal with them. She has a PhD in health psychology. Dr. Mellin, it's so great to have you here with us today. I hope I can learn something really important from you.
Well, Dr. Jean, thank you for inviting me. I feel relaxed just being with you. That smile on your face gets me. My story was about 30 years ago. I was trying to deal with childhood obesity and why kids were stress eating, and I was using cognitive behavioral therapy. I knew it didn't work, and I happened to get lucky because I was at the university, and I went back in the research from 1940, and I found that stress, or these drives we have, anxiety, depression, overeating, are really just about the brain, and the brain is emotionally stressed out. And the solution is to learn how to express emotions. That's the easiest, quickest, least expensive way to clear stress. You don't have to go to the gym. It's great to do those things, but they take time. The first and foremost thing is expressing emotions. And the crazy thing about it was that it worked. The kids stopped overeating. The adults that I began to work with stopped being anxious. And it just made biologic sense, because what did our hunter-gatherer ancestors do to relieve stress? They would run and scream through the jungle, and all of a sudden they'd feel great. Well, we can't run and scream in modern life. So there's been almost no innovation in an emotional system so that we can express emotions safely and easily and quickly. And we developed that with my colleagues. I developed that at the university, and it's called emotional brain training. And it's a sense of a universal system that's real simple. It only takes a couple of minutes in your own head, so nobody hears you. No one hears you saying, I'm angry at this and that. But you get the same effect inside your own brain. You express those emotions, and you're back to that state of connection and joy where you can really handle anything.
Well, tell me about emotional brain training.
Emotional brain training is this very simple way of looking at the brain. So we see stress outside of us, but actually it doesn't matter what's outside of us. It matters what gets into our brain. And once that stress gets into our brain, it forms all these wires of stress. You ever feel triggered where all of a sudden you're really stressed out, just like you were talking about, Dr. Jean? Well, these wires in the brain it turns out, up until 10 years ago, we thought, well, they're hardwired. It's the opposite. They're really easy to shut off those wires. So let's say when you get really, really upset, you use emotional tools to shut them off. And in a minute or two or three, you just feel great again. And every time you shut off a stress circuit with emotional tools, they don't work with behavior change. They don't work with positive thinking or mindfulness. You have to go into the circuit, feel the feeling, shut it off. It actually changes your brain's architecture.
What are a few simple steps that we can all take when we feel this stressful event is starting to affect us and create the emotions and the changes within ourselves?
I'll give you a really easy way to do it. If you express your anger just briefly, it will turn into sadness. Sadness turns into fear, and fear turns into guilt. Oh, what could I have done differently? Once you've done those four, your positive emotions are going to start ramping up, or you're going to find some kind of an old message in your brain to change, like I get my love from food, or I get my safety by being perfect, or whatever that is, and you can switch it. So it's those four feelings. Now, what's interesting is, for your viewers, you probably have one of those four feelings that don't work. Either as a child or later on, you were told that it wasn't okay to be angry or sad or afraid or guilty. With me, I was told I couldn't be guilty because I had to be perfect. And I was told I shouldn't be angry because girls don't get angry. Well, it destroys everything. And in a national movement, we need people to have these skills, because if you have all four of them, angry, sad, afraid, guilty, what's going to happen is the anger alone will stop sadness from becoming depression.
There's so much to understand here. Where can our viewers go to learn more?
You go to our website, because at the website, ebt.org, EBT for emotionalbraintraining.org, what happens is you can get the app, and with your membership, you get a complimentary coaching session from me or from another provider. You also get a copy of the book, and there's forum boards, there's communities, there's
Here's your book right here.
EBT.org.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you, Dr. Jean.
Stress is a killer. It affects our metabolism, our blood pressure, our eating habits, our relationships. It affects everything. We can do some things to avoid stressful situations, but the bottom line is that we have to learn to manage stress each and every day of our lives. Let your body heal you. Having fun is the best stress relief. Laugh and smile. When you laugh, you release powerful health-enhancing hormones like endorphins, and laughter actually enhances your immune system. Laugh, release those hormones. Enjoy the cleansing feeling and emotional release of a good long laugh. Feeling down? Just change your focus. Humor allows us to see the positive in any situation, and the new perspective will change everything. It's so important to surround yourself with people who make you laugh and smile, and not people who bring you down. Listen to music and watch videos that fill you with positive hormones. And if all else fails, fake it until you make it. Laugh and smile. And until next time, I'm Dr. Jean with Finding the Good Life.